Alright everyone, it's time for Occult Literature, video number 332, The Use of Evil. Interesting title. It's a theosophical work, short, 34 pages, so this is one of the Besant lectures again, like I've been focusing on. I've got a couple more actually to plow through this month, then I'm going to get back into some more witchcraft. Link in the description of my edition of this work on Amazon. Second and third links are to my books, blogs. This particular work is interesting in that it frames evil in almost a way that's similar to what I learned in linguistic anthropology. So let me explain. Within linguistics, the only way you can really understand the world in many cases is through dichotomy. That is, light is understood as a juxtaposition of what darkness is, its absence, the absence of light. Good and evil, therefore, are basically the same kind of situation. And Besant uses an example, which is muscle building. When you're trying to build muscle, when you're trying to create that form of progress, if you can call it that, you're trying to gain muscle mass. You don't do it by relaxing, you do it by resistance, through effort. In order to have that effort, you have to have a weight that is contrasting with your own efforts that is opposing it. Likewise, she overlaps that basic concept with the spiritual and says that's basically why evil exists. Is that what we're calling evil is not an abstract so much as it is the pushing back against the resistance to good, and through that contrast, through that effort, spiritual effort on the adherence part, the theosophist, whatever, enlightenment is created. You become closer to oneness, you become more spiritually potent, and more spiritually pure throughout time. Of course, Krishna is spoken of a great deal in this particular work. The idea of that sort of attainment of total oneness is not an absence of action, as one might suggest from certain Eastern backgrounds, certain schools of Buddhism or something. The idea is basically the cessation of anything. Besant doesn't prescribe that, but simply says the absence of the will behind the action to impact the outcome, and that oneness is still a very active thing insofar as it is actually able to be a thing, even in an abstract sense, but that it doesn't lack action. It just lacks the volition behind it, because the volition in the absence of evil at the end is no longer necessary. There's no evil, there's no resistance per se, so all activity is sort of flowing around in the ether, so to speak. It gets a little bit hippy-trippy at the last part with talking about Krishna, but it is a good point. When you're talking about dichotomies in terms of human understanding, of course, spiritual systems either as above, so below, or as below, so above, depending on how secular you are. And those spiritual systems very much resemble that sort of position of human effort being required, of course. If you're going to grow your garden, you're going to have to plow the soil and pile the rocks and remove the roots and so forth. Clear the land. You have to toil under the hot sun. Then you get your corn. Then you get your leeks and all of the other yummy things that you have. So it is a very good work. Again, it's theosophical. It is a lecture. So this was transcribed by a student of theosophy from an oratory that was delivered live. And again, link in the description to my edition of this work on Amazon. Second and third links to my books, blogs. Go under the spiritual header, of course, because it's theosophically related until I make them their own section, because I've got like, I think 20 or 30 works now of just theosophical material. A Besant work, a well-known individual, highly recommended. That's about all. Peace out.